House Stark of Winterfell, one of the great houses of Westeros, has long been admired for its nobility, bravery, and loyalty. The Starks, with their motto, "Winter is coming," have become synonymous with honor and steadfastness in the face of adversity. However, like the harsh and unforgiving winters of their homeland, the history of House Stark is not without its dark and chilling periods. This account aims to delve deeper into the lesser-known aspects of House Stark's past, shedding light on events that starkly contrast with their widely accepted image. Spearheading the brutal event known as the Rape of the Three Sisters, and as well as their significant role in the war across the water, the Starks have a history that is as tumultuous and complex as the political landscape of Westeros itself. The Three Sisters are a group of islands in the Bight, between the north and the Vale of Arryn. They are home to the Sistermen, a people with a distinct culture and identity from the mainlanders. The Sistermen have a long history of piracy and raiding, taking advantage of their location and their swift ships to prey on the coastal towns and villages of both the north and the Vale. The Northmen, having suffered the Sistermen's attacks for generations, decided to put an end to this menace once and for all. 2,000 years passed. They launched a massive invasion of the islands. The events that followed became known as the Rape of the Three Sisters. The Stark invasion was swift and brutal. The Northmen descended upon the islands with thousands of soldiers, horses, and dogs of war. They were met with little resistance from the Sistermen, who were outnumbered and outmatched by such savage invaders. The Northmen sacked and burned many towns and villages, killing or maiming numerous inhabitants. According to the chronicles of the Sistermen and the men of the Vale, the Starks were the hand behind atrocities beyond count. Allegedly, they cooked children in pots, disemboweled men and wound their entrails around spits, executed 3,000 warriors in a single day at the Headman's Mount, and flayed hundreds of Sistermen alive. The most notorious of these acts was done by Balthasar Bolton, a bannerman to House Stark, an ancestor of Roose Bolton, who is said to have made a pink pavilion out of the skins of his victims. The Northmen claimed the Three Sisters as their own and imposed their laws and customs on the islands. They also took many sister women as wives or concubines, hoping to breed out the old blood and create a new race of loyal subjects. The Sistermen were horrified and enraged by the invasion and occupation. They saw themselves as a free people who had never bowed to either a king or lord. They both hated and feared the Northmen, who had brought down nothing but death and destruction upon their lands. They longed for revenge and liberation, but they knew they could not fight back alone. They needed allies and help from outside. They found such help in King Matthos Arryn of the Vale, second of his name, who was also troubled by the Northmen's desires for expansion. When his wife voiced her doubt on his decision to aid the Sistermen, the king famously replied that he would sooner have a pirate than a wolf for his neighbor. As a king, Matthos was proud and powerful, ruling over a vast realm that stretched all the way from the Mountains of the Moon to Gulltown. He commanded a strong navy that dominated the narrow sea and presided over a large army that could match any foe on land. He saw an opportunity to weaken his northern rival and gain new territory by offering his aid to the Sistermen. Thus Matthos agreed to help the Sistermen in exchange for their fealty. He sailed to Sisterton with 100 warships, carrying thousands of knights and soldiers. His hope was to surprise and defeat the Northmen before they could react. However, he never returned from his expedition, and his fate remains unknown. After the disappearance of King Matthos, his sons and descendants did not give up on his ambition and continued to wage war against the Starks for 1,000 years. The war was a brutal and bloody affair, with both sides committing unspeakable atrocities and acts of vengeance. The Arryns laid siege to the Wolf's Den under King Osgood Arryn. His son, Oswin the Talon, however, was the one to capture it, putting it to the torch not long after. The Starks retaliated by attacking Gulltown and setting fire to hundreds of ships in the harbor. The control of the Three Sisters changed hands more than 12 times, with each side trying to assert their dominance over the islands. When the war finally ended, it was not by some epic battle, but simply by the Stark kings losing interest in ruling the Three Sisters. They realized the islands were not worth the cost and trouble to maintain, and that they had more pressing matters to deal with in their own lands. They withdrew their forces and left the islands to the Arryns, who of course claimed victory. But there was little to celebrate. In the years after, the Arryns' control over the Three Sisters was never secure or stable. The Sistermen resented them for their interference and taxation, and often rebelled or resisted their authority. The islands remained poor and isolated, constantly plagued by pirates and smugglers. In the end, the war had done nothing but bring down misery and waste upon both sides. The war across the water remains a cautionary tale of how pride and ambition can lead to endless violence and futility. It is also a reminder of how diverse and complex the political scape of Westeros is, and of the nature of its morality, and how it is very seldom as simple as black and white. It is one of the many wars that have shaped the world of A Song of Ice and Fire, but one that is often forgotten or ignored by most people. Thank you for watching, friends. For more videos like this, like and subscribe, and may you all fare well.